These are the pictures that prove to the world the existence of the uncontacted tribe in the Brazilian Amazon. José Carlos Mireles is the man responsible for finding them. Mireles works for FUNAI, the government agency in charge of protecting indigenous people in Brazil.
In this flight, we wanted to check on the tribes that we already knew existed, to see how they were doing. I also wanted to fly over some coordinates where I had walked and I saw evidence of isolated indigenous peoples. We heard noises, smelled grilled meat cooking, and saw paths in the forest.
Mireles led the four-man team. The others were 2 photographers and a pilot, all provided by the government. They had 20 hours of flight time over the course of 3 days. As the Cessna crossed over the route Mireles had designed with his GPS, the men identified huts and agricultural areas of 3 different uncontacted tribes.
When the Indians hear the airplane above, they usually run into the forest. That is why it is so hard to photograph them.
Until the last day, with only a couple hours of flight time remaining.
At about 10 a.m., we spotted a community, and as we got closer, we saw about 10 women running into the forest with their children. They probably thought our plane was a giant bird. I knew the men of the tribe were probably out hunting, so I decided to come back later in the day to see. And when we flew back over around 5 p.m., we saw the men painted red, meaning they were ready for war, probably after hearing the women's account of the giant bird.
The Indians, ready for war, fired arrows at the plane as it circled above several times.
When they shot these arrows at the airplane, I was thrilled because it showed me they are fine. They're defending their territory, and they're not afraid.
He says uncontacted tribes in this region of Acre State are under threat from logging in neighboring Peru. At least one tribe had to flee into Brazil.
There is massive logging on the Peru side of the border, and unfortunately the Peruvian Amazon is a no-man's land and everything is permitted. So the Indians are being displaced into Brazil.
Mireles refuses to give out the GPS coordinates of any of the tribes he has photographed, even to the government. He's fearful that the exact location could put them at more risk.
The destiny of these people now is not in their hands. It's in our hands. Their future existence depends on us and on what the government of Brazil and Peru are going to do with the Amazon region. If we don't protect it, these people will soon be gone, and the world will be a sad place.
Gabriel Elizondo, Al Jazeera, Feijó in northwest Brazil.